Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Thursday Mornings with Alex and Don, where Pastor Don answers all of your questions on theology, parenting, and whether he can tell if you're sleeping in church. Enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Pastor Don.
Good morning, Alex.
How you doing?
So far, so good.
Good. You recovered from the turkey coma, or whatever they call it?
Yeah, actually, we had spiral cut ham, smoked ham.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's good stuff. Oh yeah, that's we did at my in-laws' place. We did the turkey and the ham, and that's all that Charlie ate was just the ham, because everything else was different looking. You know.
At that age, everything else is suspect.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of it's like casserole things, so it's things he likes. You know, corn, green beans. He'll eat those sometimes, but since it was like in a cornbready mush, and then it had like, you know, all the like cream of mushroom soup, and you know,
Not like you eat it every day.
no, it's weird. That's what he was saying. I don't like it. It's weird. So, not a live taping this time. We had some issues last time. Yeah,
We're learning.
I keep trying new things. There's like, I find some like app or something like, oh, I can use 2 cameras or 3 cameras, and this hasn't panned out, so we're just going to keep it simple.
Won't know if we don't try.
That's right. Yep.
I had one that I wanted to talk about from Tuesday night, and
Sure.
it had to do with the blood.
Yeah.
And the question was the importance of the blood and why blood sacrifice was necessary. And I stopped at the point where I needed to go on, because if we don't make the connection of the fact that the Old Testament calls for blood for every sacrifice, then we forget the fact that, well, Christ died once for all. And Hebrews says it this way in chapter 9, verse 23 starting. In fact, the law requires that nearly everything be cleansed with blood, and without the shedding of the blood, there is no forgiveness for sins. And that's an important piece. In fact, if you want to flesh out that question a little bit more, read chapters 9 and 10 of Hebrews.
Okay.
And then it points to why we don't have the sacrifice anymore. We have an altar that's to remind us of the sacrifice that Christ made on our behalf for our sins.
Okay.
And so if you stop short of thinking about the blood in the Old Testament by not completing the thought that Christ already shed his blood for us in the New Testament, then the idea of sacrifice sort of goes out the window. So I want to make sure that finish that.
Sure. Yeah, I think
question.
I probably derailed you a little bit, because then we started talking about meat.
It's possible.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm easily derailed at this age, you know.
Oh, what about me? I get derailed with everything, you know.
It's
Go
a
off
guy
on
thing.
a tangent, is it?
It's a guy thing, really.
like
We
that
have
is-
linear thought, and then you disrupt the linear thought, and
Yeah.
we're guys. Sorry, folks, we're guys.
I remember my mom telling Carly once about something early in our marriage. She's like, I really found out about Alex at an early age. I got about 15 seconds to tell him what I want to tell him, and everything after that is just not going to soak in. I was like, oh, yeah.
I wonder if your teachers know
Sorry.
that, too. We ought to ask Linda.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
It's a guy thing, though. It's you know, we are, as guys, linear thinkers.
Yeah.
And so when you get us off the line,
Mm-hmm.
then you got to either get back or start a new line.
Oh, yeah. I feel like if I've got 50 things to do in one day, if I don't at least somewhat plan it out in my mind before I start, well, it causes a little bit of stress, like in the back of my mind. But then also, I'm forgetting the one thing that, you know, like I was supposed to do or something. Like with farming, it's like I got to haul. Rob texts me, says, you know, haul out a dead pig from this shed. And so I'm like, okay. And that's just such a small like words in my head, you know, haul out the dead pig, opposed to like start the manure tractors, get these things going. And then I forget about that pig. And then the next morning, Rob's like, oh, the pigs have chewed on it. And it's really gruesome.
Yeah, that's not fun thinking about.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Had
Okay.
ham for yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you had the
Moving
ham
right
yesterday.
along.
Yes. All right. So one of the questions on Tuesday that we got cut off on was my mom asked a question. Like, what did Jesus build as a carpenter? And you had some insight into that. What did you
Well,
say?
likely he was a utility
Yeah.
carpenter, and carpentry, it could have been tables and chairs, and it could have been gates and fences for
Mm-hmm.
sheep and that kind of thing. Uh, it would just been nice to have a coffee table from Jesus,
Oh
that kind
yeah.
of thing.
Right. You imagine what that'd be worth?
Wow.
That's what I thought was that in my head, I'm thinking of Jesus as a carpenter, and I'm seeing, rocking chairs and, a nice little table and chairs and stuff like that. But I think what we found out was the translation of it. I mean, it could have been anything from like blacksmith, a mason, a general, just laborer of any kind. And I think I saw that the most likely thing that he would have been, he would have been building homes out of stone.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we know that there also is a connection between what Joseph was doing
Yeah.
and what Jesus did, because
Mhm.
Joseph was known as a carpenter as
Yes.
well. And so the same term of what Joseph was doing, Jesus was doing.
Yep.
And we also have the idea that possibly there was a period of time he would have been the general breadwinner for the home
Mm-hmm.
while the little ones are still growing up, because we don't see any mention of Joseph by the time Jesus comes to John.
Okay.
There's no mention of Joseph after the actually after the age 12. There's no mention of Joseph, so we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But for a period of time, it would be easy to surmise he was a breadwinner for the household.
Sure.
And then when the next ones in line grew up, then they could take that role, and he would be free then at age 30 to do something else.
Mm-hmm. And everybody back then, I think Jesus was referred to. Are you not, the son of a carpenter?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
We don't really do that anymore. Although I bet in school, I bet your kids they were known as the son of a pastor.
Oh, I'm afraid so.
Oh, yeah.
They grew up as PKs.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that way you know which house you don't want to, or that you. Let's see, tiptoe, retrace what I was going to say. You don't want to go over that
Where
house.
you going with that, Alex? Inline thinking. Derailed.
I was thinking you're a young boy, You're going to go over to the son of a pastor's house, so probably not going to be a lot of trouble you can get into, which is the most fun. So
It wasn't the most fun house for the kids to come to. So. Pretty tame.
unless there's a bunch of food, that was really my only thing I really want. It's like, well,
Food.
We're going to go to that place. Where are we going? Wherever it's got to have food.
You gotta have good food. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Not
right.
just food, just good food.
That's right.
Plenty of it.
All right, so next one is about Santa.
Oh.
What are your thoughts on Santa?
Well, I think it began well when you think of the Catholic tradition, the St. Nicholas piece,
Sure.
and the benevolence that he had towards children specifically, and making sure that they had something special in the
Yeah.
season to remember Christ with, and pointing back to that gift that God brought us in the form of his son, Jesus Christ. And all that was really good. I think what happened is the extreme, and so as soon as the marketplace got hold of this marketing tool, hey, we can get people to buy more and more
Yeah.
and more.
Oh yeah.
And so we use this character out of Christendom and inflate it. And he got inflated, all right.
Oh yeah. He's very overweight.
Have you noticed that Santa's thinner than he used to be?
What?
Yeah.
Like at the mall or what?
Yeah, the depictions of Santa are thinner than they were back in the 70s and 60s.
Interesting.
Because obesity, I mean, it's not good for Santa to be obese.
Why? He eats like 1,000 cookies a minute.
Yes. All night long.
Probably drinking eggnog too.
Likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Surprised he isn't tipsy by the last roof, but
Oh man.
anyway.
I imagine he'd have to take a few stops to use the bathroom, I imagine.
You know, we don't even think about that with that narrative, do we?
Oh, I've never thought of that.
Pit stops with Rudolph.
Yeah, Daddy, Santa ruined our bathroom. Yeah.
Okay. What's the next question, Alex?
Well, I want to ask. I got more on Santa. You took that one on a tangent. I was just having fun with it. So I've asked my wife a few times. It's like, whenever, guys, this is something guys do. It's like, um, they're usually really critical of whatever their wife is spending money on. Okay. I'm guilty of it. I'm sure a lot of people are too. And it seems like with Christmas, everything is just out of control. Oh, it's like, how do we bring the focus? Are there practical ways to enjoy this, but then, bring the focus back to the reason, for the season?
Well, we tend to do that with a lot of things. If you think about it, it's much more easy to spend money than to invest time. Which would be worth more to the child?
Yeah.
An investment of time or a new trike
Mm-hmm.
or something of that nature. And I think we do it as a church with missions. It's much easier to spend money overseas than it is to think about our neighbor down the road that needs to hear about Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
needs to know God's love, and
Yeah.
we are in a position we could show that in the first person. So at Christmas time, when we're thinking about, how do I show this person how much I care for them, then the dollars and cents that goes into the gift that reinforces how meaningful they are to us becomes the focus.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really plays well into commercialism and the commercialism that surrounds Christmas.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes those those items that couldn't have been produced by some other means mean quite a bit. I mean, I think of the things that come out of some of these ladies' kitchens. That means a great deal to me because, wow, that's good stuff. Yeah. So I think the commercial piece we're easily entrapped in because we want people to know how much we care.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to do that in a tangible way than intangible, which would be spending time showing care and love, sitting and listening. I'd say if there's any gift you can give, especially an older person, would be taking time to sit and listen.
Yeah.
Amazing stories our older folks have to share. I'd say that'd be a perfect gift to give this holiday season.
Your time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's tough. I remember I was kind of when Carla and I were first married. She's got four other siblings. I've got 5 other siblings. Getting everyone together on a certain day. So basically, like, my family is competing with her family to pick out the first date. Because once you get the date, that's it. Then the other family's got to figure it out. And luckily, most of our family is closer. She's got one younger brother that's out in Utah. And so once he has a span of time where he can come, then we start to plan, but he doesn't know until later. And I remember just thinking, like, why is everyone so worried about getting everybody together? Like, it's so all of us together, it's so silly, but it's it's a huge deal. Get all the family together for Christmas to sit down together. It's so special to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not going to be able to talk to everybody at the same time, it's just that feeling of the home before all the kids moved away and started having kids and stuff like that. And
as the table gets longer and longer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Adding each new generation.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what my parents did. It's like, get another leaf for the table, knock this wall out of the living room so we can expand it a little bit. Oh, yeah. It's gotten quite
really
long.
neat when you can have one big table.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. And then it turns into, of course, all of our kids are young enough. My mom, my poor mother, she's a grandma of 6 grandsons, all under the age of 8. And
oh, yeah.
Talk about a party. There's crying, there's throwing, there's crying again.
Oh, you give that party 6 years and it'll change tremendously.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to start a t-ball team or something. Or
playing football in the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I remember. That's always a lot of fun. But, yeah, getting everybody together on Christmas, that's giving your time. It's
a precious gift.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. Okay. Would you rather have Yeah,
You would, yeah, we know what these are like.
these are my favorite. Long nose hair or bad BO?
Oh, I don't think I can handle myself with BO, so I suppose the long nose hair, we could braid it, I suppose.
I was just gonna say we could just move it into your mustache.
Oh, incorporate it.
Yeah.
Yes, into the mustache. That would, yeah, it could be done.
Think about it. You could switch
Probably-
to like a handlebar where you wax the ends of it.
Probably has been done between trimmings. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's where you're gonna go. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
that
go-
makes the most sense.
It makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Neither one was easy. Yeah.
But the thing is the people in the congregation, they can see it, whereas you're standing up here all by yourself, maybe not smell you as bad.
Well, the poor pianist, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. It's hard to find a good
Yeah, I
pianist
don't
and
know.
keep her
I
coming back.
like
So,
people close enough. The BO thing, you got to do away with that part
yeah.
as much as possible.
All right, one more. Would you rather, when you go to the grocery store, would you rather always buy 10 things you didn't need or forget the one thing that was important to get? Or forget one thing that you went there for?
I have a thing about getting too many things I don't need.
I do both the things.
Yeah. The trouble is when I go to the grocery store, if I go to the grocery store hungry, then see something, then it ends up in the cart. And my wife is very good. She makes a nice list that I follow.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm a good boy, I follow the list.
Mm-hmm. And eat the things that you got extra on the way home. Right.
I only live three blocks from the grocery store.
Oh boy, so you got
really
shovel.
have to start it fast.
She'll smell that on your breath. Yeah, you're not gonna get
she
away
will,
with that.
yeah. So we just have to watch that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, this has been fun. Thanks, Don. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Alex. God bless.
Yep. Bye.
God bless you.